everyone, and welcome to week 3 in our Trimsulin Summer Slim Down series. I'm Casey Branson, and we're excited you're with us for another powerful session focused on progress, consistency, and real success. Last week, we talked all about how to make Trimsulin work for you, from our new healthy eating guide to simple daily habits, and even showing you what to avoid so you don't get derailed. And now, we're celebrating what happens when you stay consistent. This week's theme is Success Stories Get the Real Skinny, because let's be honest, there's nothing more motivating than seeing real people just like you getting results. In this session, you will hear real Trimsulin stories, what's working and why, the power of showing up daily even without being perfect, and mindset shifts to help you stay motivated and moving forward. So no matter where you are in this journey, this session is here to remind you that real progress is possible. You're not alone and you can do this. So if you're ready, let's go. Please help me welcome First Fitness Nutrition President and co-founder, Nigel Branson.
Thank you, Casey, and hi, everyone. Today, I'm doing a very special Trimsulin coaching series because what we're going to do is get the real skinny from real people who have chosen Trimsulin as their weight loss solution, but more importantly, how they're incorporating the Trimsulin Healthy Eating Guide into their daily life. We're also going to be talking about the power of consistency, but I think I want to start off with adapting the right mindset, because I think that whenever you're making a decision to do something, you have to be ready. You have to say to yourself, I am doing this for myself. And over the last few coaching series, I have shared my struggle with losing weight, and I have lost over 118 pounds. 24 of those pounds have come from the new Trimsulin weight loss program. But I think that the important element of this statement is that I have been able to maintain my weight loss for the past 20 years. And that has come from making a decision to be consistent and adopting a mindset of having a healthy lifestyle. And I think the success to any weight loss program is using the products and the program to kickstart your weight loss, but adapting the mindset to stay focused, be consistent, and actually make it a lifestyle adjustment. And what do I mean by that? Well, if eating hamburgers and cheeseburgers was one of the reasons that you put on a lot of weight, I think it goes without saying that moving forward, you'd have to eliminate that from your new healthy eating style. And that's what we want to talk about tonight. But before we get into the actual coaching, I do want to give a brief overview of what all the excitement is about with the Trimsulin weight loss program, because it is the world's first plant-based GLP-1 weight loss program. And this is a program that does not require prescriptions, does not require injections, and it is vegan. It's plant-based, it's natural. So the Trimsulin weight loss program comes with these two products, Control and Thermo. And these two products together are going to help control the appetite. They're going to regulate glucose in your body, which is very significant to losing weight, and it's going to create fat burning. So when you take the Control and Thermo together and incorporate our healthy eating guide, you're going to control your cravings, reduce your appetite, promote fat burning. You're going to notice inch loss, and you're going to notice fat loss. And we're going to support healthy blood sugar levels. And when you can lower your blood sugar from your diet, from your daily activity, you are going to feel more satisfied, and you're not going to feel that urge to overeat. And that is the power of the Trimsulin weight loss program. Now, before you get started on the program, I do have a couple of recommendations that I think are very important that sometimes are overlooked. Number one, you've made a decision to lose weight. the first thing you need to do is set a goal. How much weight do you want to lose? And then I would absolutely weigh yourself before starting. And here comes another coaching nugget. I would take a before picture. And I am not asking you to use this photograph. I'm asking you to keep this photograph, because you will be amazed at the progress in the next few weeks and the coming months. And you will look at that photograph, and that is what is going to keep you motivated to never go back to eating the bad foods that you once did. And also remember this, that we recommend when you're on Trimsulin that you should stay on the program for at least 90 days. And when you think about it, if you had more than 10 to 15 pounds to lose, it would be a little unrealistic to expect that just to happen in 30 days. So we recommend, to get the full benefits of Trimsulin, that you would stay on it for at least 90 days. And here's another important point to make. Do you know that to break a habit takes somewhere between 21 and 66 days to break a habit? So you've got to stay consistent and get through that period where it starts becoming, this is a daily regimen that I'm going to incorporate into my lifestyle. And then remember that you're on the program from week to week. Your weight might fluctuate. The needle might get stuck on that scale. Don't get disheartened, because sometimes inch loss is more significant than weight loss. And I can tell you, when I was losing weight, there'd be periods of time where I'd be sticking to the program and eating healthy, and my weight wouldn't drop for 2 to 3 weeks sometimes. And then all of a sudden, it started happening. And that can happen to some of you. And just know, keep going. And what I say is, be kind to yourself. And tonight, when you hear from my two special guests, they weren't too kind to themselves initially. And they will now share with you how being kind to yourself can end up having fantastic results. So for those of you that are joining us for the first time and tuning into this coaching series, when you get your Trimsulin weight loss program, you get what is called this healthy eating guide, and it tells you how the products and the program works. It gives you suggestions on what to eat on a daily basis, talks about the optional intermittent fasting, and it also has some success tips. But the program is very simple to use. You're going to take your control. This is the product that's going to curb your cravings, reduce the appetite. You're going to take it with 4 to 6 ounces of water, along with 1 capsule of thermo, which is going to boost fat burning, increase your energy, and enhance your metabolism. You're going to take these two products together 2 times a day, 30 to 60 minutes before your first meal and 30 to 60 minutes before your last meal. And then you're going to use the healthy eating guide as a suggestion, as a recommendation, and something that initially will put you on track to understand what good food choices are versus bad food choices. So, summing it up, here's how the Trimsulin weight loss program works. You take control and thermo twice daily, 30 to 60 minutes before your first and last meal. This is important. You want to aim to eat your last meal at 3 to 4 hours before bedtime. This is important because if you were eating your last meal at 9 o'clock at night, that's not healthy. And then if you were taking your products 30 to 60 minutes before that, that's not what we're recommending. So eat your last meal 3 to 4 hours before bedtime and follow the healthy eating guide and stay consistent. And when you get the menu guide, you're basically going to take these 2 products and you're going to follow the meal 1, meal 2, and 3 options. And it is something that you can incorporate every day without any restrictions or feeling like you're on a diet. I now want to let you hear from two special people who have chosen Trimsulin as their weight loss solution. And my first special guest is Pat Chisholm. Pat's been using Trimsulin for approximately 60 days. Pat, welcome to our coaching series.
Thank you for inviting me.
You know, Pat, I think it would be interesting to hear your weight loss journey before starting Trimsulin, and then let our listeners hear what has transpired in the last 60 days.
Okay, I have tried everything. I've tried keto, I've tried Weight Watchers, I've tried HCG, you name it, and nothing seemed to work. And I was very frustrated and couldn't lose the weight. And I met a lady who introduced me to the Trimsulin weight loss program. And she told me to, when I got the product, to give her a call and she would guide me through it. But I didn't do that. I sort of kind of read the healthy eating guide that came with the products and tried to follow it, but I didn't do it right. So I called her. I didn't tell her that I had some issues with my colon and I had struggled with diarrhea, watery stools in particular. I was truthful with her and she listened to me and she made some suggestion and she asked me if I would let her coach me the second month. And I started out that first month taking the Trimsulin twice a day and eating 3 meals a day. And after following the healthy eating guide the way I should, I started taking it 3 times a day, and the products allowed me to eat only 2 meals a day without any struggle. And she also suggested that I start Renew, which has helped with my elimination problems and helped me kind of gain control of that. And so now my second month feels like really my first month because after all of these 2 months, I have lost 17 pounds, which is amazing. I am so excited about the future of my weight loss journey because it feels real, it feels attainable, and I feel great. I have clarity of mind and lots of energy, and my clothes are feeling a little bit baggy. So I know it's working.
Wow. And so 17-pound weight loss. So my takeaway from what you're saying is the first month, you weren't taking the products even as directed. Why don't you share with our listeners what time you were taking control and Thermo and what was happening as a result of that? Because I think a lot of people can make this mistake. What were you doing the first month incorrectly?
And yeah, sometimes I would be having my last meal late at night. And so I was taking the Trimsulin late at night. And what I noticed is I had trouble going to sleep and I was up late because of that. And so I have started taking my last Trimsulin, the Control and Thermo, at 5 or 6. Even if I'm eating late, that's my cutoff.
And has that made a major difference?
Oh, yeah. Now I haven't had any trouble going to sleep anymore.
All right, fantastic. So the first month, 3 meals a day, products twice a day. Mm-hmm. Second month, products 3 times a day, 2 meals a day, incorporating intermittent fasting. How many ounces of water would you say you're drinking a day, if any?
80. I did not drink enough water the first month either. And now I'm tracking it. So
fantastic. Pat, one last question. You told me that you had gone on a road trip, and because you'd adapted a new mindset in incorporating Trimsulin into your daily life, can you just share with our listeners what you did to prepare for that road trip? What happened when you stopped at Cracker Barrel, and also about the bad influence you had with your road trip partner? Share that with us quickly.
Okay. I was on a road trip. I was with a friend who was not focused on her health, and she was eating candy bars for snacks. And we stopped at Cracker Barrel, and I used the healthy eating guide to make wise choices from the menu. And I had my protein and my vegetables, and I was able to stay on track. I also brought a little cooler that had healthy meals, and it had snacks that were part of the menu guide, and it allowed me, no matter where we were or what was available, I had something that was going to keep me on track.
Fantastic. Pat, you're an inspiration. You have got tremendous results. I think you believe and know that you have found a solution. Thank you for sharing with us today.
Thank you. You're welcome.
My next special guest has a very inspiring and encouraging story, a message of hope to those of you that might feel there is no hope. When you listen to Kendall Crowley's transformation, her struggle, her changing of her mindset, and now the results, I know that you'll be empowered. And if it can happen for Kendall, it can happen to you. Kendall, welcome to our coaching series.
Thank you for inviting me.
Kendall, can you share your struggle and results with Trimsulin first? And then I want to ask you how you incorporated it into your daily life.
I've always struggled with my weight ever since I was very young. At about 7 or 8 years old, I was noticing that I was overweight. Well, whenever I turned about 13, I started trying the fad diets, and they never worked for me long term. Well, and then in early 2023, I got on the GLP-1 injections. I only lost 13 pounds in 90 days. I couldn't stay on them because I really felt nauseous, tired, and I was still hungry. Then my grandma introduced me to Trimsulin, and everything changed. In my first month on Trimsulin, I lost 10 pounds. And after 11 months, I've lost a total of 83 pounds. I've also lost 14 inches off my waist.
Kendall, I mean, that's a story. That's a transformation. And I've walked in the shoes of struggle. How has that changed your mindset right now?
I feel so much more confident, and I feel like I can do things. Like I feel like I can move forward. I never thought I would lose the weight, but now that I've lost as much as I have, I know that I'm capable.
And you said you lost 10 pounds in your first 30 days. Can you tell our listeners tonight, what did you do in the first 30 days on Trimsulin?
I was not following the eating guide as much as I should have been. I was still trying to eat sensibly, but I wasn't fully trying to eat 100% off of the eating guide. But whenever I decided, hey, this is going to help me in the long run, this will help me lose weight quicker. And then once I started eating off of the eating guide, I had a whole lot more energy throughout the day, and it was more sustainable.
You were telling me at about 6 weeks in, you were frustrated with the amount of weight that you had lost. And I thought that was quite a powerful statement, because a lot of people would like to lose 10 pounds in their first 30 days. So what was it at the 6-week mark that got you frustrated? Because I believe that's when you made a transformation with your mindset to do the program and incorporate some different lifestyle habits. Talk to me about that.
I was frustrated because I was like, well, if I only lose 10 pounds a month, it's going to take me forever to lose all this weight, because in my mind, I'm thinking as much weight as I have to lose, like it just wasn't quick enough for me. So
So,
when
so what did you do to make a difference?
I decided to eat off of the eating guide. I decided to make my meals more centered around what was on that guide rather than just eating less processed food, you know, really try to stick to the eating guide because that's what is recommended for us and that's what works the
So,
best.
how many times a day do you take Trimsulin?
I take Trimsulin twice a day in the morning and in the evening.
And are you using intermittent fasting?
Yes, sir.
And
Yes.
how are you using the intermittent fasting?
My first meal is around 12 o'clock and my last meal is around 7.
Okay, great. And what do you generally eat for your first meal?
I normally will eat yogurt or just something small, a salad, because I'm at school. I don't need to eat that much. So, yeah, I have more energy if I don't eat a lot
All
during the.
right. And then are you exercising?
I try to get around 10,000 steps a day. I walk laps in between classes at school, and that's helped me a lot, getting more steps. And whenever I'm able to work out, I do.
And how about your water intake? Are you drinking a good amount of water or what are you doing with that?
Yes, sir. I drink about 85 ounces of water a day.
Oh, that's fantastic. And then, Kendall, let me ask you, when you started on the program, did you start just on the Trimsulin or did you add some additional products to the Trimsulin?
Yes, sir. I was focusing on the Trimsulin, the Renew, and the Lipomax. That's what I started off with. And now I've incorporated the shakes, and those have helped a lot.
And how do you use the body effect shakes?
I will have those sometimes as my first meal of the day, so that will carry me over until dinner time.
And one final question to all the millions of people who struggle, who feel there is no hope. What is your one motivational statement of encouragement to give hope to those people?
You can do it. If I can do it, then you certainly can. I've been struggling with my weight my entire life. I never thought I would lose the weight, but now I have. So you can do it.
Well, fantastic. You know, Kendall, thank you for sharing. Pat, thank you for sharing inspirational, motivational, and a lot of good success nuggets here. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to go back to the menu guide that comes with your program. You have meal 1, meal 2, and meal 3. So, whether you're eating 1 or 2 meals a day or 3 meals a day, if you want to accelerate your weight loss initially, some people need this accelerated number to motivate them. I would incorporate the intermittent fasting and I would eat from option A in both meal choices as much as you can to accelerate your weight loss and definitely incorporate the Renew. And if for whatever reason you need more appetite control and more craving control, there is absolutely nothing wrong with taking the Thermo and the Control 3 times a day. Just spread them out about 4 hours between each other. And you are going to have lasting, sustainable weight loss. So just some success tips here. Recommend following the program for at least 90 days. I think it makes sense, especially if you have a significant amount of weight to lose. Definitely give Trimsulin 90 days. Eat smart, avoid the fried foods, don't eat sweets, don't go to bed feeling like you need to eat food and go to the pantry better to go to bed hungry than it is satisfied. Stay hydrated, get that liquid, get that water in your system, especially through the summer months. Gonna enhance your weight loss. Get active. I mean, walking. You heard Kendall, she's getting 10,000 steps. She's making an extra effort while she's in college to do some laps around the classrooms. Great idea. Just get moving and then track your results. Weigh before you get started, and then I would weigh once a week. I can tell you, some people like to do it on a daily basis, but as I've said before, that can become psychological warfare, especially if the scale doesn't move. You might get disappointed, frustrated, and even sometimes throw in the towel because you're not seeing the scale moving. Do it once a week. And even if it's once a week and the scale's not moving, you're losing inch loss. And inch loss sometimes, and fat loss is better than just a number. So next week, I want to encourage each and every one of you to invite one person or two people to hear Casey Branson's transformation. This is my daughter, and for those of you that are parents, you know how tough it is when your children go through hard times or struggle with something. My daughter has overcome a 16-year struggle with weight. And I believe that her story will inspire, motivate, and give everyone an opportunity to say, I have a solution, even if it's not for myself, to help so many people in such a positive way impact their life. So that's going to be our coaching call next Tuesday. For those of you that are joining us for the first time and you want to get on Trimsulin, Trimsulin is a 30-day program. It comes with one control, one thermo, the healthy eating guide, and it costs only $149. So when you think about comparing that to these weight loss injections, somewhere between $900 and $1,300, and those come with harsh side effects, you've got an all-natural weight loss program here. And this month, we have a special promotion where we are going to help you accelerate your results and include our number one selling product. It's our flagship product called Renew. It's a daily inner body cleanse, and this is going to help reduce the bloating. It's going to support digestion, and it's going to enhance your weight loss results. So if you buy a Trimsulin weight loss program for only $149, we're going to include a free bottle of Renew. That's a $20 value for free. So I'm going to encourage you, if you're a guest, to please get back to the person that invited you to this coaching series and tell them, I'm ready to get on Trimsulin, and we're going to celebrate your success because this is your new weight loss solution for lasting and sustainable weight loss success. See you next week.